welcome to another episode of Why Details. Welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome to the channel. Flame Orange, I think it's Flame Orange Bentley GTC. It's quite something, huh? This was supposed to be a double video with the racing yellow Porsche. Can you see that next door? No, it's just through there. It's at waiting to one side, it's having a wheel refurbished and then it's finished. But I sort of filmed that much on the Porsche that to include what I want to include on this would extend that episode beyond 60 minutes or so, and there is probably more on this in terms of defects and stuff to pull out than I initially thought. So this itself deserves to be its own entity, its own episode. I'm not forgetting that in the Porsche episode I announced there is a competition through till the end of September, so hopefully when this video is live you get a chance to take part. Competition on Enzo, so fly over to the Porsche episode to be part of that. So the Bentley and the Porsche, they are, or will receive a minor paint correction, a two-stage machine polish, chasing 70 to 80% defect removal. Wheel coatings, a light interior once over. The Porsche is a Targa, so it has a convertible hood, albeit a lot smaller than the Bentley here behind me. Hood treatments and Modesta coatings. So Enzo, if you didn't know already, is the consumer retail range of the Modesta high professional top end system. Right. Minor paint correction. Minor correction. Here we go again. Isn't it a wonderful colour? Very much so. It's interesting. I like the Porsche, the Targa, which is next door, the racing yellow, on screen now. I think Flame Orange would work very well on the Porsche, but I don't believe racing yellow, the Porsche, would work well on the Bentley. Can you imagine that bright yellow? Bit too much, unless it lived in Miami. So the owner, what does the owner know? It's 11,000 miles. The owner knows that on the passenger side, on the front end, there were some chips. So it's a second-hand car, it was purchased from a main dealer. To secure the deal, they sorted the chips that were on the passenger side, which I don't know if there's confusion there, because everything I'm finding is on the driver's side, which we'll take a look now. So Bentley, similar to Aston Martin, it's all flatted, it's sanded at the factory to reduce the orange peel, which is why it looks as fantastic as it does already. Starting on the light clusters then, swirling, general. Then we start to look a bit closer, and I'm going to use the word sanding marks a lot in the next 5 or 6 minutes. The edges there on the bumper section. This lip is pretty rough all the way across, actually. See that? Sanding marks. The corner of the rear deck here, extremely heavy. You can see already without the direct light. Not finished very well at all. The vehicle is 110,000 £120,000 worth of motor car. There's a few smudges and prints and handprints all over it now from my doings. Everything here looks kind of okay. Room for improvement, of course. Oh, bottom corner. Sander marks, pigtails, ticks. And then we start to see signs of respray work. See that? Or the mottled. When whatever's been painted has been painted, this stuff has been used, the masking has been used on the other areas of the car. But I think that's when lacquer gets underneath that and it sort of travels across the car and sticks elsewhere. Easy to remove, but unsightly for sure. That gloss black side skirt is a bit of a pain. Plenty of marks down here as well. Buffer marks, rotary marks, patches of overspray. That's going to be, it's difficult to do that, to get tight in there, because you don't want to be damaging the sill at all. And likewise, when you do the sill, you don't want to be polishing that and striking the black. There are complications on this car. There are some intricate angles and ledges, concave sections, 10mm ledges and lips. Up on the bonnet, corner of the bonnet, heavy. Down there, sander marks. The mirror, gloss black. This has taken some hammer. There's a whack mark and abrasion on the very corner there, but alongside of that, I think this has been pushed through one or two hedgerows or something, I don't know. Hard to determine what's happened there. That really wants tidying up and painting, I'd imagine. Right on the very top of the door, this little channel, 10mm section. Obviously impossible to get machine polish up here, so we'll have to do what we can by finger polishing. The hybrid could probably come to about here across. Any further, then there's a danger of it slipping, damaging the pad, damaging the backing plate, or the backing plate damaging the car. Overspray in the corner. The texture on the bonnet isn't the best. I'm thinking this has been painted using the reflection of the square light. The whole idea of Bentley's flat paint and the sanding, the lengths of sanding they go to get the paint nice, that isn't a Bentley finish. It's pretty rough. Polishing alone will improve to a degree. Front end, sander marks, ticks tight down the edge. Again, a difficult area to polish, not a straightforward once over job. One for the hybrid. Little ticks, sander marks. Buffer trails. So somebody somewhere has had a go at chasing out the sander marks, but you've missed a few. The first sign of polish residue. Someone's not done the toothpickery very well. The worst area we're coming to, about here on the door. Something's going on there. Let me kill the lights. So yeah, initially you think glossy, sharp, and pretty nice, but there is a lot of room for improvement. On the top edge of the wing there, again, sander marks. A-pillar down the offside is particularly swirly. Something's been rubbing or chafing or pushed down there. This colour is making my white balance go mad. The unit's not blue. Edge of the door on the front wing. On the chrome here, overspray, you can probably hear that. That's easy to shift. Ready? Boff. Weird patch of unfinished DA sander marks. Why there's a patch in the middle, I don't know actually. Dry spots here. Edge of the doors heavy. More polish residue, missed toothpickery. The handle's covered in polish. Perhaps the worst area on the car as far as the customer is concerned. This is going to be news to them, but you can see here, look at the colour. the edge of the door, there has been repair work. So when I said about the customer saying that the side has been painted, the passenger side, for chips, and he also explained that the edge of the door, a mechanic or a technician at the dealership wasn't aware how wide the doors opened, and the door actually corked, scraped something, it damaged the edge of the door. And this is the perfect area for this to be, this is the perfect reason why that would have been painted if someone's caught the edge of the door. But this is the driver's side, not the passenger side. To me, the passenger side looks all okay. But yeah, an indifference in colour there, which is odd. Normally the whole panel would be like it, but it's just that one area. I can't see any blend marks or lacquer lines. Swirly whirlies and pigtails, similar to the dry spot down here. Up on the rear deck, there's a patch, flat, and the worst scratch on the car is there, but we can see somebody's already had a go at this. Watch the corner. Somebody's taken that edge a bit thin. Can I show it with the light? Yeah, you can see where the side's okay. And you can start to see it's in a bad space, that it's in a really bad spot. And then we're pretty much back where we started. More gloss black stuff down here. Ugh. Sander marks on the bumper. Alright, where shall I start? Probably the bonnet. Take some paint thickness readings as well. See what's what, report back to the customer, give them a quick 3-minute insight on video on WhatsApp. But certainly when it's finished and it's refined and it's coated with Modesta's BCO4, it's going to look the business. Tell you what, when you've got headphones on and you're rocking out to Nirvana, smells like Teen Spirit, and then you take your headphones off, very quiet. One thing is for sure is it is pleasant paint to work with. That said, I think the bonnet's been painted, as I say. So, can you tell me which side has been done? I've just done a cut. Obviously you're not looking for defects at this height, maybe clarity enhancements. Let's get a fingerprint so we can focus the camera. Fingerprint. Right. Texture. Improved. Yeah? Just from the cutting. Heavily improved, I would say. It's had a 6-inch pad from here to here, here to here, across and up, and then the top. It's had the 3-inch down the middle, across the bottom, up the side and across, and then separately hybrid 3-inch up here. Has it pulled out every single last pigtail? No, it hasn't. Did you just see what I saw? Probably not. There. Bastard. But I can advance at that I am happy with. This obviously has just been cut. It will be refined and then primed before coatings are applied. I mean, there's not really many defects here to go at anyway. It is purely the marks that have been left behind from the body shop. It's so nice to actually work on colour. Ooh, a colour for once. The yellow Porsche, the orange Bentley. I think really I ought to introduce a surcharge for black, silver, grey and white vehicles. 20% extra. Of course I'm kidding, 30%. Wow. A quick whiz over the A-pillar, much improved, tidy, tidy, tidy. Very top left corner. All I've done on the most part from there to here was the 3-inch. The hybrid came into play there, there, and there. Top left corner, there's a little edge of sander mark still. Edge work, very, very important. Hybrid now. We'll just go across there and tidy that up. Sweet. A-pillar complete. What we need to do now before we move on to the wing, polishing this. It's great, but just lay that there for fear of pad strike on the A-pillar, and we also want to tape up the door edge as well. Good to go. Frisky. Ooh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Yeah. La la la. La la la. I need some help on this one. So let's get the camera set up, kill the exposure. There's a blend here, a lacquer line. See it? I'm doing my best to get tight into the bottom corners and tight with the hybrid, as always. But why, if someone can help, why would there be a lacquer line there? Why wouldn't they just go, obviously this is the bit that's been painted. As we saw earlier, unfortunately there are a few blebs and bits in the paint, which isn't great. Who's painted it where, I don't know, but is it because they don't want to take the trim out? I mean, it's a bit loose already. I noticed back here, that doesn't exactly scream Bentley. It's proud. But this has been, ooh, hello. Anyway, either way, I'm gonna have to do that again because what I'm chasing are these sander marks down here. So someone has obviously seen the blebs, they've had the paper out, they've been trying to rub it down, and I'm now finishing, not quite shifting them from the edge there either. It's gonna be a fun old week. Right, driver's door. There was the haze of sander marks here, on the most part, fixed. Obviously still needs refining, so it's a little bit cut, only a little bit. But again, another one for the body shop guys. The door that was damaged needed some spray work after the door was contacted. The discolored area here, look what I can see. Lacquer line. Cancel. Alexa just piped up. Lacquer line runs all the way down to bottom. So this corner of the door was damaged. I think somebody opened it up, because it is quite a wide door. Opened it, bang, into the side, and it's only that end that's been painted. So unfortunately, yeah, underneath the bump strip on the door. A combination of standard marks, buffer trails, and overspray. Bad, 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 bad. Ooh. The more time I spend looking at this, the worse it is. So this edge isn't pretty. That edge goes up onto the wheel arch. That edge isn't pretty. The side of the wing. And then lastly, the line that runs up onto the top of the rear wing, likewise, isn't pretty. That, unfortunately, is as nice. It's as nice as it's going to get. That is a burn through on the edge, as is that, as is this, as is that. I've just tried to finger polish this. It didn't improve it, and it actually made a fraction of it worse. So what I've done is I've taped actually 1 millimeter or 2 over this wage line so I can actually polish the good paint below it without hopefully disturbing the burn too much. Likewise now. Stay humble, work hard. I've just posted a nice picture, a flashback to 10 years ago to the day. Ten years ago, mobile service, rolling around somebody's driveway. I've still got ski legs and I've still got cables draped everywhere. I know that much. I came across the flat areas on the back end of the rear wing. At the time, I didn't know what they were. Dry spots, thin lacquer, but actually the burn throughs, and the panel has been painted, it's been sanded, it's been polished, it's been compromised, all of the edges are burnt through. So for me to go forward and continue, for why? What's the point? What's the benefit in me doing the rest of the car, but about 40% of the way through the cutting? So 60% more cutting to refine it, to coat it, for the car to need to go to the body shop, for that rear wing to be refinished. So put the tools away. I'll probably end up coating the calipers and doing the wheels, just so that's done. I'll add some form of protection to the areas that I've been until further notice. Okay, so a couple of weeks on now, I've just grabbed the camera to update you because at the point of working on the car, I didn't have an ending, I didn't have an end to the story with the camera. It started well, good intentions, felt pretty good about the whole job to be honest, but then came across the offside rear quarter. It was at this point, after many phone calls, voice messages, videos backwards and forwards to the owner of the vehicle, that it was decided that there is little point, there is no... The door just moved itself. Ah. Oh. That was very weird. That gave me goosebumps. Right, there was little point in carrying on the work for me to continue to cut the rest of the car, the 60% that I hadn't yet touched, to refine the car, to prime the car, to get the car coated with Modesta's BCO4. For then that rear offside quarter to be repaired, to go to the body shop. It's all backwards that wants doing now, before the detailing and the final icing on the cake is delivered. Of course, it's most frustrating, but it absolutely makes sense. We will see the car in a couple of months. The diary is sort of through till November. It's early September at the minute. But the repair work will be carried out. It will come back. I will have to go over the areas I've done at this point already fine, not a problem. I'd rather that than do the whole car again after I've done it once before. And what I'd like to just touch on is if you are, well, if you're in the trade, if you do what I do, the camera, having this out filming and recording, it does give you some comfort. We didn't actually have a chance to fully inspect the car when the vehicle was dropped off. I remember actually pointing the bad bit on the top of the wing out, thinking I can fix that, not a problem, not worth sort of talking about now because that can be sorted later. We didn't have a proper look over the car. I took on the car first thing on the morning to get it washed, get it dried, decontaminated, and at that point I assessed the vehicle on camera. I film to send the owner of the vehicle a 2-minute, 3-minute WhatsApp update of, hey, this is where we're at, these are the tender marks, this is why it's going to take localized corrections in places because of the flattened marks left in the intricate areas, and at the same time there's some odd bits going on here. And then I later discovered, once I got onto that panel properly, that of course the edges, the swage lines were all compromised. The customer is a great existing customer to my details, and in fact the mechanic, this is their car also, same customer, same client. But had I have not had that footage to be able to say, that could have easily been pointed at me, that blame could have easily come to me. It never would have with my client there. Sort of, we worked together and I'm sure that they would take my word for it. And if it was me, I'd put my hands up and say, boo-boo, I've done a bad thing here. But having the camera rolling just covers yourself if you are to come up against these slight issues yourself. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. So there we go, that's the end of this short episode. It will be back, it will be documented in a couple of months' time, so watch out for the Flame Orange Bentley GTC revisit once it's had that repair work done. See you in the next one. There's a small parcel for you in the office. Small package for you. The detail is buyable over on Instagram. Thanks for the support, guys.